So today I want to speak about a topic that I guess is kind of weird when I first say it out loud, but I think it's important, and that is the correlation between mental health and filmmaking. I run a side business where I sell gemstone rings, and whenever I'm sitting down and going through my catalog and basically uploading images of these gemstones online and having people buy them and dealing with gemstones, I find that it's a very blessed craft in the sense that it just feels very soothing to deal with that craft. It feels very soothing to work with inventory when it comes to gemstone rings, specifically sell them, see people's happiness when they purchase an item and they love it and they wear it every day. There's something very fulfilling about it. And it made me think a bit about how that compares to how I feel when I'm working on my filmmaking craft, which is a very interesting journey when it comes to mental health. Because on one side, I love what I do. I love taking my camera out. I love making the best images I can possibly make, or at least pushing myself to make visually interesting images, moving storytelling, or even using my craft to help uplift other organizations that approach me or brands that approach me that really want their story told in a visual medium. I love working with cameras. I love setting up my camera. I love messing around with gear. There's something really fun about it. But at the same time, and I don't know if it's just me, but there is also a kind of emptiness to it. And I don't know if you're a fellow freelance filmmaker and this kind of resonates with you, but when you're working on a project and you're working very hard, you're not thinking about anything else, you're barely sleeping, you're trying to meet your deadlines, you're trying to please the client, and you put something out there that they love, audience loves, does well sometimes too, and you're just very content with it. The minute it's over, my first thought is, okay, what's next? What can I work on next? And there is this feeling of just constantly chasing a perfect image or chasing a better image, chasing the next client, chasing the next video. And you speak to anyone who works in this industry on any level, be it someone who works on a massive movie set or someone who just, carries a Sony A7S and does content for their local bakery or whoever it is. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but you speak to anyone who holds a camera in their hand, anyone who kind of works in this industry, even though it's a massive, massive industry with so many different tiers, and they'll all tell you the same thing, which is, I would love to make a movie. I love what Christopher Nolan does. I loved Oppenheimer. I loved Interstellar. I love Spielberg. I love that new Dune movie. I love the Marvel movie. Whatever it is, there is a weird culture in this craft where you're looking at the quote-unquote top. You're looking at the movie industry and looking at what they're doing. And in a very weird way, you're almost like a child who plays with their toys, trying to reimagine what they see on screen. We kind of do the same thing. We take the cameras and lenses that we have access to, the people we have access to, and we try to create things where we're almost mirroring the big leagues. We're almost pretending that we can play in those leagues. And it can sometimes create this sense of, one day I want to make a film. One day I want to get there. One day I want to be the biggest director that there is. One day I want to make a TV show. One day I want to do this. And I feel like that constant yearning, that constant I'm not good enough to be there. I'm not valuable enough to be there. I haven't made the right connections. I'm doing the wrong thing. All those kind of thoughts are very, very negative. And I feel like that is something that exists not just maybe with me, but I kind of sense it in this freelance filmmaking community. So point being, I think it's very important for us freelance filmmakers to remind ourselves of a few things. Number one, freelance filmmaking isn't everything. It's a job like any other job. It's a very fun job. It can be a very fulfilling job. It can also be a nightmare of a job. But it is just that. It is a job. Real life is out there. Real life is when you take your kids to the park. Real life is spending time with family and friends. Real life is sitting down reading a book on a nice summer's day. That is real life. And this is just a job. It's a great job, but it's just a job. Number two, even though we're continuously pushing and even though we're continuously trying to be the best that we can be and trying to improve our craft, we must be content with where we are. We must be content with what we have. We must focus on the present. I feel like a lot of filmmaking, even by way of flow, is consistently focused on the future. You're trying to book a shoot. Then you're at the shoot thinking about the edit. Then you're editing, thinking about delivery to the client. Then you deliver to the client and you think about the next project. You're continuously focused on the future and not enough on the present. So I think that it's very important for us in our craft to try and look after our mental health. Try and be grounded in the present moment. Try and be content with what we are and what we have. And remind ourselves, take a step back and just enjoy. Those were some thoughts that I wanted to share with regards to mental health and filmmaking. I hope that they resonated with you. I would love to hear your own comments, so please do comment down below and keep it civil. Other than that, please do like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.